Slightly changed around room, a cow, a switch, a microphone, a cup, and absolutely no beard anymore. That's a little bit weird. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mini Virginthia with another episode of MiniMug. I forgot to put stuff in this, so right now what you're seeing is just lies and deceit. But today what I wanted to talk about, once again, completely to nobody's surprise, is the Nintendo Switch. But actually an issue that started to become a little bit of a bigger issue, even to somebody as Switch-centric as me. It's a bit of a problem that a lot of people are having, both people who haven't got a Nintendo Switch, people who have got a Nintendo Switch, and there are of course those people who are saying now, oh, Nintendo doesn't need to do it, but it's starting to become a bit of a bigger issue. So, if you do not know, the Switch internal memory is 32 gigabytes. That is a pitiful size, especially for a tablet-like console going into this new generation of gaming, where cloud saves and stuff like that has become huge. Now, that wouldn't matter too much if the cartridge games could hold all of the memory. But unfortunately, with the AAA titles coming out at the moment, there are a lot of games that are asking for pretty big downloads, anywhere from something like NBA 2K18, which I think had a 6 to 8 gigabyte download. Even if you did buy the cartridge, by the way, you had to download this because it would end up having multiplayer and stuff like that, which would basically be then put onto your Switch storage, so you wouldn't it wouldn't be on the memory card, the cartridge itself. It would be completely just data that's shifting off through the stratospheres until you download it onto your Switch. And also now, there are games like LA Noire, which are asking for 14 gigabyte downloads with the Nintendo Switch physical edition. I believe the game itself is about 29 gigs, but the actual update stuff, which apparently has patches, updates, and everything that you basically need to download this. This is not a optional download like NBA 2K18, which a lot of people gave a lot of bad rap for. This is a 14 gigabyte download, especially if you've already been downloading games for the Nintendo Switch. There is no memory left there for this game to work. Even I, as somebody who has, if I can for once in my life actually prepare one of these things so I don't need to go down here, for somebody who has bought most of his games as a physical option, even I am starting to realize that the 32 gigabyte model isn't enough. It's not ever going to be enough, because here's the thing, is that yes, most of the games I have here, everything from 1-2 Switch all the way up to Ultra Street Fighter 2, they have not had any major downloads. They may have an update patch every once in a while, but that won't take up as much memory. However, now I'm starting to get to the realm where I'm getting into the third-party titles, like Doom, Skyrim, LA Noire. I'm going to need a bigger micro SD card. So when it comes to things like that, I do suggest maybe wait a little bit. Maybe Nintendo will release a higher hard drive model. I can't see that happening, to be honest, because with the Nintendo Switch at the moment, Nintendo is going for this cheaper first option. Even at £280, this still seems like the cheaper option to do, with no real game added. I mean, there are plenty of bundles out there that now have games, like the Splatoon pack and the Mario Odyssey pack, that have the games included, but they are substantially more expensive. But that's usually because they've added the custom Joy-Cons, along with the download of the game, not the physical game, by the way. For anybody who thought they could get away with that, if you bought something like the Super Mario Odyssey Nintendo Switch Edition, it is a downloadable game. Now, Super Mario Odyssey apparently has a very low download size, but that's not going to help Nintendo in the long run. So, my advice for this, ladies and gentlemen, definitely go out, get a big SD card, especially if you're going to go digital. I'm not going to go digital for most of my games. I have for some indie titles, but even I'm thinking that I'll have to get at least 120 gigabyte micro SD cards, and they're not exactly cheap at the moment. And I would not go for the Nintendo options that Nintendo is apparently working alongside SanDisk in order to make their own micro SD cards, because apparently they don't have a lot of memory installed anyway, and also apparently they're extremely expensive for something that literally only has like Mario or Zelda on the packaging, not even on the micro SD card itself. So that sucks. And then we get into the realm of, unfortunately, the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about today, which has been discussed by Nintendo executives in interviews and stuff like that. The thing about cloud saving. So I am not a big cloud saver guy. I never have been. I'm more for just having your saves on the console. But especially seeing as we're coming into the portable era with the Nintendo Switch, if you lose your Nintendo Switch, if your Nintendo Switch breaks for whatever reason, even if it fell off this table now, and it broke, or it got lost, or something along those lines, every single save I had for these games right here would be completely lost. There will be absolutely no way to bring them back unless you had a micro SD card. Which is why a lot of people have been asking Nintendo executives about cloud saving. Reggie Fils-Aimé has even said stuff like, as somebody who's like got every single shrine and coming up to 300 Korok seeds, which good on him. He's a madman as usual. He's talking about how it would suck if he lost that game save. And unfortunately, he was still kind of bouncing around the issue, saying, we want to talk about it, we don't know how to do it, it's quite complicated, which it isn't. It really isn't. All you really need to do is make some kind of cloud save function, and as soon as the Nintendo Switch docks up to some kind of internet, the saves that you've had are then immediately uploaded to the cloud. It does not seem that difficult. Microsoft has been able to do it. Sony's been able to do it. So there is no reason that the Nintendo Switch should not be able to do it. And I know that Nintendo is behind. Nintendo has always been a few decades behind the rest of the video gaming companies. That's what makes them Nintendo. They've always been able to do something that's like what the other consoles are doing, but in their own Nintendo fashion. And that's something I can credit them for. But this isn't going to work this time, Nintendo. A lot of people are going to be pissed if they end up dropping their Switches, or like I said, losing them, or for whatever reason, a manufacturing fail happens, and then 300 plus hours of Breath of the Wild are instantly gone. Nowhere to be seen whatsoever. You need to sort this out. Now, I can imagine with the Nintendo Online services coming out soon, that they will fix this. They'll probably end up saying, when Nintendo Online happens, the Nintendo Switch Online service, when that becomes a paid subscription, they may end up bringing in cloud saves then. Because that's something that they haven't really talked about yet, is the Nintendo Switch Online service. There's still a lot of up in the air stuff about it, so we may hear a little bit more about it soon. But Nintendo, you're starting to go on thin ice on this, and this is going to stop certain people from buying one. Because if they all of a sudden hear that there is no cloud system, people who have maybe got children who might break their Switch, they may go, well, I'm not going to buy it just in case they can't get their data back, or something along those lines. It is going to be a big deciding factor, as silly as it sounds. Cloud saves seem like something that should be not a huge deal, but unfortunately it is, and that's the way it is now. Moving into the world, the online world of like just where data flies through the internet here, there, and everywhere, where things like Steam, Microsoft, Sony have already done it. Nintendo need to start taking ideas into actually working on a cloud save function. I'm excited. I'll enjoy it. I would say it's not a big deal when it's there. It's there, and I'll probably make an update video saying, there we go, it's done. But once again, it's something that does need to be discussed. Nintendo's been kind of bouncing around the issue, and I think it's just time that Nintendo kind of just crack down and start showing us more on this online service. That's something that I'm going to be talking about in a different video, is the Nintendo Online service in its entirety, because it's not brilliant at the moment, but as I always say, what do you expect for something free? So I'll be doing a video on that soon, hopefully. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Mini Virginthia with another episode of MiniMug with absolutely no liquid inside of my cup whatsoever. But hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be streaming soon, and I will see you in a bit. Mini Virginthia, out.